listening to Take Back with Zac, where we cover the hottest topics in the sporting world, including deep dives into the greatest teams to ever exist. The Lakers, the Chargers, and the Anaheim Angels. I mean, we've got a series coming up this weekend against the New York Mets. The Mets are like 10-20. The Angels are 12-20. It's just like two of the most disappointing franchises in the MLB right now are going at it this weekend, and what I'm just calling the ultimate sad-off. We're having a sad-off this weekend. I'm going to be locked in on all of it. We're going to be covering all those teams as well as all of the news from around the beautiful, beautiful, lovely, lovely, bright, voluptuous world of sports. This show is available everywhere that you get your podcasts. Video is available on YouTube. This is the first hour of a 4-hour live show. Well, technically right now it's 3 hours. So if you like this, you're going to love the full show. We're available live, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 to 4 p.m. Pacific time, and every night following the NBA postseason games. Dog, the postseason postgame show, the TBWZ NBA postseason postgame show hosted by Veenie as a part of the Take Back with Zac radio network, LLC, it's been fun. We've gotten some new fans, some new people coming in, some great callers. We're having a good time. If you guys have not tuned into a postgame show yet, please drop some love and hang out with us. Also, I think there's something bubbling on YouTube right now. Something's happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. Whoever can name that band first wins. Hint, hint. I said it already. Haven't had to stop there. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. On today's show, we're going to be covering the Nuggets absolutely collapsing. Is Jokic a fraud? That's the question that I'm hearing from around the world of sports media. Is Nikola Jokic a fraud? I have the definitive answer. So I scoured the entire internet. I read a book this morning. I was reading a book this morning to try to figure out. It was called The History of Fraudulent Behavior in the National Basketball Association. Actually, that's a really good title. Can someone write that down for me? We're going to write that book one day. The History of Fraudulent Behavior in the National Basketball Association. Okay? Markelle Fultz is on the cover. Speaking of Markelle Fultz, the 76ers absolutely destroyed, not really, but they won last night. You know what I mean? Nikki Glazer's on my TV right now. What a come up, you know? A year and a half ago was the roast of Tom Brady. Nikki Glazer skyrocketed. Unbelievable stuff. Beautiful lady. Nice woman, too. She's very kind, gentle, and soft. I don't know about that. I've never actually touched her skin. But you can tell from a mile away if someone's soft or not, right? Bro, you ever just like hug a woman sometimes, their hair smells good and their skin is soft? You're like, what is going on? What is this? Come on now. Coolest things in the world. Sports, 1. Ladies, 2. My wife, number 1 though, whenever she's here. Vujnog is in here saying, by the way, you said the Ducks wouldn't make the playoffs when you were making your preseason NHL predictions. Look at us now. I mean, we got receipts going back all the way to what? When did the season start? November? Brother's keeping receipts on us. But yeah, the Ducks got a huge win last night to send home Connor McDavid and the Oilers. Hey, if we're going to do the hey, is Jokic a fraud show, I'd much rather do the is Connor McDavid a fraud show. He's supposed to be the greatest hockey player to ever exist, right? People have been comparing him to the great one his entire career, Mr. Gretzky. We're touting Connor McDavid as this unbelievable talent in the NHL. He's so good. Yeah. Hey, win the big one, bro. Hey, win the big one, dog. 3 straight finals, 3 straight L's. And now he gets bounced in the first round to the greatest hockey team on the planet right now, the Anaheim Ducks. They got a huge win. The barn was rocking last night in Game 6 or was it Game 5? I don't know. Shows how much I know. No, Sidney Crosby is the best of all time, or you're the cat. I don't know. J.D. Walker hates Connor McDavid. I absolutely love it. They literally called him the next one. He's a joke. I love it. I think we're just going to be the anti-Connor McDavid show going forward. Someone has to take up that mantle, right? Last year, Greg Cody on the Dan Le Batard show featuring Stu Gotts said that Connor McDavid should be called Connor Mick overrated. Dude, at the time, everyone was roasting that man alive. There were literally Canadian sports shows doing whole segments on Greg Cody. Some journalist from Miami who's 80 years old saying in a headline, more like Connor Mick overrated. And people just blew up. Where are you now? Where are you now? Today's going to be the day of like the greatest superstar in your sport is overrated show, right? Come on, more. Mike Trout, overrated. Can't win the big one. Doesn't care about winning. Would rather just live in a beach house in Newport Beach and Crystal Cove looking over Laguna. have an awesome kid and a hot wife, and go to pavilions every once in a while and get some avocado salsa and some nice chips and some mango habanero yum yum. Make some fish tacos. Mike Trout would rather just chill at the beach than win baseball games. Connor McOverrated can't win the big one. Can't even win the small one against the Ducks. And Jokic can't get past the Minnesota Timberwolves when they don't even have their best player. What is going on? Who are we doing for, yeah, Pat Mahomes can't even finish the season healthy. There it is. We're doing it. Are those the four GOATs of the sports, though? The baseball one is obviously probably closer to Aaron Judge. Or well, actually, it's Shohei Ohtani. Can we talk about Shohei Ohtani? Like, what was that, a year and a half ago? Getting indicted on gambling charges? Dude, Emmanuel Clase got in trouble for like throwing games and betting on baseball games that he was a part of. He's facing 65 years of prison time. Guys, Chauncey Billups, remember a long time ago, the first clip I ever had, what up, Talking Balls? The first clip I ever had that kind of went viral was me talking about Chauncey Billups. You know he's facing like 11 years of jail time for what he was doing? Yet Shohei Ohtani, it just is like, I'm Japanese. And they're like, all right. And like he's like, it was my interpreter. And they're like, oh yeah, okay, all right, oh, okay, oh, yeah. Rob Manfred was like, hey, FBI, can you make sure it wasn't, and they're like, yeah, oh yeah. The FBI, they're all Dodger fans, first of all. Shout out to the FBI, I think. Do we like the FBI around here? Who do we like more, the FBI or the CIA? I'm all about UNICEF. I'm going full European. Speaking of full European, we're going to have the most European matchup of all time with the Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the San Antonio Spurs with Rudy Gobert and Victor Wembanyama having a French off in the front court. I am cooking. A French off in the front court? Where else are you going to get this kind of sports talk? Trout and the Halos were in a suite watching what the playoffs in Anaheim should look like. Vujdog, that got to make you sick to your stomach as a diehard Angels fan yourself, brother. Diehard Angels fan. You know, the Angels have 11 blown saves on the season, which is the most in the MLB. They're 12-21. 11 blown saves. That means there is a universe where this team was 23-9. 23-9. Best team in baseball numbers right there. Yeah, we have 11 blown saves. Yeah, Mike Maddox, great pitching coach, whatever. This show starts the same way every single day, though. I cannot continue on without the traditional framework. I don't know. Sometimes when I forget a word that I'm trying to say or I lose my train of thought, I just scream another word, and then everyone's like, all right, that's what he meant to say. I've realized there's a lot of credibility in volume, like decibel-wise. No one cares about, like, how much. All right, whatever. Today's show begins the same way every single day with today's verse of the day. It comes to you from Hebrews 11. It's a great just chapter in the Bible. Great examples of faith. Just focusing in on this one right here, verse 6. And it's impossible to please God without faith. So impossible. Anyone who wants to come to him must believe that God exists and that he rewards those who sincerely seek him. You know, a lot of people pray the prayer and they're like, yeah, come on. Show up, Lord. Come on, Jesus. It's faith, brother. It's faith. It was by faith that Noah built a large boat and saved his family. It was by faith that Abraham obeyed God when called to him to leave his home and go to another land. It was by faith that Sarah was able to have a child, though she was barren and too old. All these people died still believing that God had promised them. They did not receive what was promised, but they saw it from a distance and welcomed it. They agreed that they were foreigners and nomads here on earth. Obviously, people who say such things are looking forward to a country they can call their own. If they had longed for the country they came from, they could have gone back, but they were looking for a better place, a heavenly homeland. This is why God is not ashamed to be called their God, for he has prepared a city for them. I might have to read that one every single day of my life just to drill it into my brain, brother, because that is a good one. Why do I always... Wow, come on. This show also does a movie of the day. Today's movie of the day is Taken. First time I watched this movie, my dad let me and my friend Cole watch it. Cole was sleeping over at our house. He's like, yeah, you guys can watch Taken. This was also the same night I watched Taken, was the same night that my friend introduced me to putting peanut butter on Oreos. It was really good. And then I remembered, oh, bro's just stealing the Parent Trap flow. He's stealing my whole flow. Prepare to get taken for the ride of your life. Liam Neeson is an unstoppable force in this action-packed international thriller that will have you on the edge of your seat from start to finish when his strange teenage daughter is kidnapped in Paris. Speaking of French, a former spy, bro just sees the word Paris and he's like, duh, speaking of something I said 5 minutes ago. Dude, a French off in the front court. It's going to get stolen. That's going to get clipped. You're going to see it on First Things First, Nick Wright. Big banner below him. And then his big nose and his long hair. Get a haircut, right? You know he has a black wife. What does that matter? To find her at any cost. Relying on his special skills, he tracks down the ruthless gang that abducted her and launches a one-man war to bring them to justice and rescue his daughter. Taken. We're watching the theatrical version too. They give me the option on the DVD to watch the unrated or theatrical. Oh, dude, that is so awesome. Just seeing that erupt right there. Taken. Bro, Taken is literally just about this dude's daughter always getting kidnapped. Y'all literally just got outplayed game 2. It was not because of Wemby. That was the game that Wemby got hurt, right, JD? I don't know. Whatever. XD1 is in the chat hanging out with us. Let's get into it, fellas. I absolutely love you. Let's rock and roll. Dude, I couldn't start anywhere else outside of this Boston and Philly series because, brother, the best 2 words in sports, say them with me. Game 7. We got it, bro. That's the only thing that football doesn't have over the other major sports is like game 6 and 7, you know? Dude, should the Super Bowl be a 3-game series? I think I just fixed football. Because, dude, to be honest with you, Super Bowl Sunday is the worst weekend of football. 1 game? 1 game? Make it a 3-game series. Make them play back-to-back-to-back days. That'd be hilarious, bro. This series in Boston and Philly has had a little bit of everything, and the cherry on top is going to be this epic showdown on Saturday in the Garden, Game 7. Dude, the Sixers found a way to win without Embiid, Game 2. That was such a bigger win than I think anybody gave it credit for because shortly after that, Joel Embiid comes back into this series, and brother, oh my gosh, they look pretty good without him. Connor McGarbage said Vooj in the chat. I love it, dog. Yeah, hang out on YouTube, please. Hang out over there. I'm trying to get the numbers up on the YouTube. Well, technically, every game is a Game 7 win or go home. Yeah, JD, that doesn't make sense now. You've completely neutralized my entire point. Thanks for doing that. Appreciate you, brother. Love seeing you out here. Just kidding. Embiid is averaging 26, 8, and 7 in the playoffs so far and looks pretty darn healthy, brother. I will say, every single time Joel Embiid does hit the floor, I do get quite scared, right? It's like the SpongeBob guy who's like made of glass. His bones are made of glass. Am I imagining something? Do you guys ever like think about an old SpongeBob episode and then like, wait, was that real? SpongeBob does some bad things to kids, man. There were some really gnarly episodes of that show that just like probably should not have been aired. It was the 90s though. Bro, children's programming in the early 2000s, dude, they were like, yeah, little kids like tits too. Sorry. I did not mean that. Yeah, Pixar was like, hey, make the mom's butt huge. Kids like that. Dude, they made Nala in Lion King, like, so pretty. Dude, I remember, can you feel the love tonight? I was like, bro, dude, Nala? Nala can get it. I know Nala's a lion. I think I shouldn't have said any of that. Joel Embiid has basically just proven to be a huge matchup issue for the Celtics. And doing a little bit of a look ahead, right? The winner of this Game 7 on Saturday is going to be facing the Knicks on Monday in the first game of the second round matchup with New York. I personally think New York matches up a lot better with Boston than they do Philly. Because, yeah, I know Kongu didn't play very well toward the end, but they had a lot of trouble with the bigs until they started running Cat as the point guard, right? That was the big difference for New York. Is Cat started handling the ball and Brunson was able to play off ball. He's better off ball. You know who else is better off ball? Cade Cunningham. But they don't have anyone else who can handle it over there in Detroit. I said it last night, and I might say it again. Austin Reeves for Asar Thompson, straight up. Who says no? The other thing in this series, when we had Maxey, when Embiid and Maxey are running the pick and roll, which they did pretty much every single time down the floor, every single time Boston is sending 3, And it's either they're double teaming Maxey and Embiid has like a Sam Hauser on him, or they're leaving Maxey wide open to shoot and giving him all the space in the world. There's a huge issue that Boston's having with the Maxey and Embiid pick and roll, and I don't think it stops after this series should they win on Saturday and go on. The big kicker with Embiid, listen, he shot 33% from the floor. He was 6 for 18. He did not have a good shooting night. I looked at the numbers. I was like, wait, how did he have 28 points in this game? He was darn near bad from the field. He shot 1 million free throws because Jaylen Brown kept fouling him, and Jaylen Brown got in foul trouble. When they're running the pick and roll and he has a guard on him in single coverage and no help defense around him, that guard is just going to immediately foul. They don't have another option outside of just fouling Embiid and putting him on the free throw line. It worked pretty well for Philly last night, but I do worry about that moving forward. You got to be able to guard the pick and roll with less than 3 dudes. But the reason that this Philly and Boston series is going to 7 is not because of Joel Embiid. It is 100% because of Tyreese freaking Maxey. He's the Pistons say no? Okay. The Pistons don't want... the Pistons need a ball handler and a scorer. That is Austin Reeves. The Lakers need an athletic perimeter defense type guy. We have the scoring in Luka. We need like a lockdown defense perimeter guy. That's Asar Thompson, okay? I think it'd be a match made in heaven. Because I'm going to say right now, Austin Reeves is gonna be a second, third team All-NBA type guy. Asar Thompson will not be. That might have been the worst take ever. But Tyreese Maxey is an absolute dog out there. He's averaging a little over 26 a game. He's shooting 45% from the field, bro, and 41% from 3. The guy's just not missing shots. You know, a few guys in the league have this effect where you're like, when he shoots the ball, it's just going in. You know, Luka has that a bit. SGA obviously has that. And right now, Tyreese Maxey's got that. His moves around the hoop, I just want you guys to like lock in on when he's driving to the hoop and there's 2 guys in the paint. XD1 with the sub to get us going on a Friday night on Friday, May 1st. Oh! Hey, hey! Steph Curry. What up? XD, thank you, brother, for the sub, May 1st. It's a good day to sub. It's the first day of the month. What is that from? There's a guy on TikTok named K-Skate that always uses that. Shout out to K-Skate. He's one of my first fans. I literally remember my Nick Silvestri and K-Skate were like my 2 first followers on TikTok. And myself. I made sure to go over to my own personal TikTok and then go and follow myself. And I was like, woo, look, I have 1 follower. We're getting up there, though. We have like 2,200 right now. It's growing. We're growing and showing. It's the first of the month. I brush my teeth and count up. All right. Maybe I should stop code switching. Should I? No. I think it's part of my charm. When people bring me back home to the parents, like, the only thing is he code switches a lot. It's part of his charm, though, girl. Him and Joel Embiid running the pick and roll is so hard to stop, like I said, and I talked about a lot. Dude, question for you guys. Tyreese Maxey. Is he the greatest pro player in Philadelphia sports right now? Because A.J. Brown is out of there, right? And for me, A.J. Brown was like probably the best thing in Philly sports. It was maybe him or Saquon Barkley. Right now, I'm pretty sure Tyreese Maxey is the best player in Philly pro sports right now. Because listen, you can talk about Saquon Barkley. He had a pretty down year last year. We can talk about Jalen Carter. He's been unbelievable in his 4 years in the NFL. He's awesome player. Produces a lot for them defensively. Multiple all-pro guy. You'll have some Jalen Hurts heads in there for sure. A lot of Eagles guys. No one is putting a single Philly in there, by the way, right now because the Phillies absolutely stink. But maybe on a different year, it could have been Aaron. It could be Bryce. I don't know a single Philadelphia Flyer, so I mean maybe someone out there has a Philadelphia Flyer on their Philly Mount Rushmore, but bro, I think Tyreese Maxey might be the best player in pro Philly sports right now. Or it could be Mekhi Lemon. You're right. He hasn't done anything wrong, right? Dude, beginning of the year is like Joel Embiid and blah, blah, blah. And it's like this year it's been pretty clear like Tyreese Maxey is the best player over there in Philly. Right? So I'm like, hanging with you guys, writing this for the show, and I was like, wait a second. Is Maxey the best player in Philly sports? I think we'll decide together. I think we'll figure it out as a team, but he's putting the team on his back. He's carrying this team to a playoff like series, like a legit run potentially. If they get past the Celtics in Game 7, dude, he's averaging 26 a game. He's a walking bucket. Just watch him around the hoop, bro. He finishes with his right and his left so easily. He had a move last night. He had two guys on him. He split the defenders, euroed right to left, faked with his left hand, put two hands back on the ball, moved to the center of his body. Keita completely shifted the way he was blocking to the front of the rim, and then he goes back to his left hand. Like, he's doing so many crazy things in the paint around the basket, bro. It's so fun to watch him. He's so fast. He's like legit becoming one of my favorite basketball players in the league, and he's creeping into that top 10 conversation. Someone that needs to be in that top 10 conversation, absolutely, is my guy, Paul George. Hey, shout out to Paul George right now, brother. Playoff P. That's it. That's the take. Paul George is awesome. We love it, dude. Bro, playoff P. There was a moment 5-6 years ago, people were roasting Paul George for not being able to show up in the playoffs. Dude, sports media used to absolutely destroy this man for not showing up when it mattered most. And it just makes me so happy to see such a great sports town like Philly completely embrace their guy, Paul George. And he's out here balling off. Balling off? He's out here just taking off, dude. He's out here balling out. He's 100% back on steroids, though, right? He got popped for a 25 games suspension for PEDs. And there's no shot the guy's not back on the roids. They're not going to test him again. Dude, once the playoffs start, Fachango, Kakango. Dude, hey, hush, hush. I'm going to have to whisper for this one, so guys, turn up the volume if you can't hear me. LeBron James has been taking steroids for like 15 years. There's no way he's this good and like continues to play at such a physical level and excel in the NBA and still be a top 20 player at the age of 41 without taking steroids. LeBron has been taking steroids, and Adam Silver has been allowing him to do so. Paul George is an absolute legend of the game, bro, and I am just so stoked to see him balling out in Philly and the town just embracing him in general. Bro, this is the man that built Oklahoma City. The entire state of Oklahoma, round up all 1 million of them. Are there 1 million people in Oklahoma? What, are they 1.7? Hey, throw in the Indian reserves, and what are they, 1.8? I shouldn't have called him Indian. You see what LeBron said towards Sengun? He called him soft. It's in their genes. I love you, NATO. That OKC team that we're talking about is like one of the most dominant teams in the NBA, potentially like a legit dynasty budding before our very eyes. Hey, Paul George is the man that built that team. That was all because of him. And it kind of leans into the best finals matchup that we could have. Philly and OKC would be absolutely bonkers as a finals matchup because you basically have Paul George versus the team that Paul George built. You'd also have the obvious storyline that everyone would be talking about is the Jared McCain revenge game. You know, Knicks fans would get to see some orange and blue in the finals for the first time in, 25, 30 years? All of the trust the process people would be liberated through this whole thing, even though the process was Joel Embiid, Nerlens Noel, Jahlil Okafor, Ben Simmons, and Markelle Fultz. Hey, the trust the process people would still be liberated, for sure. Even though the process involved Nerlens Noel, Jahlil Okafor, Ben Simmons, and Markelle Fultz. I'm just saying those people would get to do a little bit of a victory lap if they do get to the finals with Embiid, because he's part of it. He's part of it. You'd have Maxey and SGA battle it out in an ethical hoops off. The legendary battle down low of Chet Holmgren versus Joel Embiid. And of course, this young, fun-loving, slightly homosexual-leaning Oklahoma City Thunder team heading into maybe the most hostile environment in all of sports. I am 100% all the way backing a Philly OKC finals matchup. I think it would be so fun for the league for all the reasons I outlined, but mainly because it would be Paul George versus the team that Paul George built. I want to stay on this series for a little bit because I haven't talked at all about the Boston side of things. You did not just call the Thunder gay. I didn't call them gay. I called them slightly homosexual leaning. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander practices in a bra. Jared McCain makes TikToks. Chet Holmgren has the facial structure of a horse. They slight, if they were to lean one way or the other, I think they would lean a little bit homosexual. Oh, OKC fans are going to be so mad at me because Oklahoma hates gay people. Straight up, dude. Straight up, now tell me, do you really want love? Dude, there's like a certain breed of gay people that are like in the South that like flock as close as they can to like any sort of college town that's slightly blue leaning. So they're like their blue and purple and pink hair doesn't stand out. Dude, I like gay people fear for their lives in like South Carolina and like Oklahoma. Texas, they all go to Austin, so like chill over there. Bro, you see a gay guy in Mississippi and you're like, what? Whoa, gosh. Is that guy okay? Like that guy's gonna get followed home. Hey, buddy, where you going, huh? They're following him home. Yeah, Oklahoma hates gay people. On the Boston side of things, I would be remiss to be a Lakers fan and not just absolutely take a little bit of a victory lap on the Boston Celtics, dude. In the games that they've won, they've shot 42% from three. In the games that they've lost, they've shot 28% from three. The phrase live or die by the three is something this team has been comfortable with and seems to be completely unfazed by the numbers. They haven't made a change. What up, Swaggy? What up, ho? By the way, Oklahoma has 4 million people. I was off by about 3 million. No, I was off by 2.3 million. Even better. Yeah, I was good. I think there's 1.8 in Oklahoma City alone, if I'm not mistaken. I'm very interested in population right now. I'm really high on population, guys. There's a whole region of America like Montana, North, South, Dakota, Wyoming. There's like 300 people in that entire part of America. Like the barren north is what they call it. In between, like nestled between the Rocky Mountains and like Minneapolis or whatever. There's just like 30 people. All, dude, hey, their neighbor 100 miles away. Why would anybody want to live there? Dude, so much of your life is dependent on like where you spawn. Like, and you just like, one day you're just like conscious. You just wake up. It's like, hey, you're poor. Your dad's gone. Your life is hard. Sucks. You're just, all right. That's tough. Some people, it's like, hey, your parents are super cool. They're still together. Also, dad owns a company that's worth $100 million. You can do whatever you want for your entire life. Like, all right, sweet. Some people are born in Mumbai. Dude, imagine, oh, bro, I couldn't even imagine. I mean, you wouldn't know any different, but like being born in the middle of Mumbai. Dude, you just born to the serenading sounds of car honks and men cooking food with their feet in the middle of the street. Ah, gosh. I don't even care about the Lakers. It's about LeBron. If Lakers lose, I'm going to do something. I don't know what, but definitely something. We should go TP people's houses, Swaggy. Can we bring back adult TPing? Dude, it'd be so funny. TPing is like exclusively for like high school kids that don't get invited to parties. Because what they do is they TP the person's house while everyone else is at a party. And they're like, they're all partying right now. I'm gonna TP their house because we're not cool enough to get invited. Let's bring back adult TPing. It'd be funny. It'd be really cool. Why not? Oh, you and your 4 buddies have a house? You're like, let's go meet at the bar. You're like, where's Tony and Josh? TPing. Also, being 30 years old getting TP'd, oh my gosh, would be the worst thing ever. I'd be so frustrated. It doesn't even have like the promise of like potentially a cute girl was like behind all this, right? Because every time you got TP'd as a kid, you're like, well, maybe it was my crush. Maybe my crush was like sending me a message. Because you know when you're in high school, the ultimate way to tell someone that you like them is to TP their house, right? Because then you're forced to like come back the next day on a Saturday. Hey, sorry, it was me, huh? Sorry. Also, whenever you get TP'd in high school, you're always hungover the next day. It's just an exclusive fact. Get TP'd, instantly next day, Dad, hey, we got TP'd, go clean it up. It's 8 a.m. You're like, oh, Dad, I'm only a kid, Dad. I love how your dad's always mad at you for you getting TP'd. I didn't do anything. Get a watchdog. Go buy a ring. Imagine having a super bad day and then you come home and grown-ass men have TP'd your house. Bro, imagine like seeing balding men running away from your house with like toilet paper in their hands. Because all of my friends are balding. They're all balding. If you are balding and you're out there and you're wanting to do something, dude, I'm telling you, I've had friends who've like 22-ish started balding all the way to like 28 and just kind of let it all happen. And then they're like 28 and they're like, I'm going to start doing about it. I'm going to start taking finasteride. Dude, the minute you start balding, do something about it. We're vain, baby. Remember, we're not fixing our mental health this year. We're fixing our outward appearance, and that's it. We're stacking up our accounts. We're getting our follower accounts up. We're being vain. Okay, we're working on the outside. Inside, that'll happen later on. Clip that TP part. TPing. How do you spell TPing? The truth is obvious, and it because all right. Back to the Boston Celtics. The whole adage is like if they hit their threes, they win. Am I related to Zach Galifianakis? I don't know actually. Someone take my DNA. Hurry, you could have it. Let's do 23andMe. I think I'm Polish. Is he Polish? No, he's definitely Jewish, right? Dude, there's a guy named Jimmy Feingoldberg. Who's the guy that sits courtside at all the games that wears the lame cowboy hat and has the gray hair, right? Jimmy Feingoldsteinberg? I'm just doing something racist there. I'm sorry. We're going to do a deep dive into him and why he sits courtside at all these games. Listen, man. This Celtics team, when I've heard them on ESPN, I was on Get Up today. I was on Get Up. The word stubborn is getting thrown around a lot. The words arrogant is getting thrown around a lot to describe this Celtics team. Because when we're watching and we're taking our little notes and we're watching the game, and you and me are like, wait a second. When they make their threes, they win. When they lose, when they don't hit their threes, they lose. How come they don't get away from that game plan and start maybe driving the paint a little bit or going for some mid-range twos or trying to get inside rather than just shoot threes all the time? Why don't they change their game plan? Every Celtics bro in the world is spewing some nonsense about Mazzulla not adjusting in game. We need to drive the paint. Tell Sam Hauser to quit shooting. Tell Derek White to stop. Bro, hey, to all the fans out there, all of the woes that Boston is experiencing because of all the three-point shots, none of those people are mentioning the fact that Boston 2 years ago won the finals because of those three-point shots. As much as it hurts them in this playoffs, in this series alone, it's also the reason that they are where they're at. So you're going to tell a coach like Joe Mazzulla or a GM like Brad Stevens, hey, I know you've constructed this entire offensive identity. That's the word. Good job, Veenie. Around shooting threes. Hey, change. That's not how it works, bro. They found a winning formula that works for them and constructed an entire roster around that certain philosophy, and now you want them to abandon it? People don't understand that these rosters are constructed around philosophies. I do. I understand it all. Yeah, Swaggy, you're right. The goal of the game is you just have to score more points than the other team. It's crazy all these coaches are like, oh, we're going to do this. I'm like, hey, just go score more points than the other team. It's so simple, bro. Why am I not the head coach of every NBA team? I don't get it. One day they'll learn. You constructed a roster around the philosophy of shooting threes. That's what Boston does. They shoot threes. Detroit's going to go out and play hard defense. New York is going to run through Cat, right? The Lakers are going to give the ball to Luka and play a lot of ISO. That is their philosophy. That is the game that they've chosen to go with this year. Boston is built to shoot threes. And yes, when they miss them, it sucks. And they lose. But that's the game plan. Okay? And you live and die by your game plan. You're not going to change it in the middle of the season. Or in the middle of a series, game 7, you're going to start now playing a different way. They don't have the roster to play a different way. You want them to go low inside with Neemias Queta? The reason Neemias Queta is there is because he could kind of be a stretch 4 almost. He's got a little bit of defense speed, can play some defense, can pop a 3 every once in a while. Hey, look at the big man they got in at the trade deadline. They got Vucevic not because he's so great defensively, not because he's really good inside. They got Vuce because he could shoot threes. Their entire identity is around shooting threes. So I'm like, hey, the guy who's sitting on his couch right now in Southie right now with his dumb little Celtics hat on, we got to stop chucking up so much threes. You have no idea what you're talking about. But, you're from Boston, so what do you expect? I was locked in on that game. I want to talk about the Nuggets and the Timberwolves game in just a moment, but before we do that, we had a historic loss last night by the Hawks. The Knicks beat the Hawks by 51 points, brother. Oh my gosh, dude. Swaggy said, I wish they still had Robert Williams, Time Lord. Dude, Time Lord is low-key one of the greatest nicknames in all of sports. Don't tag me in that, Don't at me like that. It's one of the best nicknames there is. In current NBA players, if we did the best current NBA nicknames right now, Time Lord is up there. Obviously, the Slim Reaper. King James is number 1. Greek Freak, really, really good. I'm starting to call VJ Edgecombe the Bahamian Nightmare. Does anybody want to call him that with me? The Anomaly? Yeah, that Joker is good, but the Anomaly is not real. No one calls Jason Tatum the Anomaly. Chef Curry is good. Chef Curry is really good, Oreo. Veenie. Yeah, just Veenie. The Alien. Yeah, I mean, Wemby is his nickname, right? The Generator. I don't even know who that is, Slade, but I appreciate the nickname. Do we have any more? I said Slim Reaper already. Time Lord. Wemby. Ant-Man. Ant-Man's good. We'll take Ant-Man. The Joker. VJ is the Generator. Really? He's the Generator? I think he should be the Bahamian Nightmare, but that's just me. The Knicks beat the Hawks last night by 51 points. And listen, if you want to impress me, New York Knicks, do it against Philly or Boston. Put up 51 in Atlanta. It's not a good basketball team. Who would ever pick Atlanta to win a series against you guys? It's just that's just a disappointing end of the series for me, man. 51 probably wasn't even enough. The fact that it went to 6 is disappointing. New York should not be proud of themselves for this series. Like, it was a really fun series going into this one, and then like Atlanta just stopped playing defense and got scared of Karl Anthony Towns. Jalen Johnson never showed up. Dyson Daniels looks like an expired fruit roll-up. Okongwu started really hot and then turned into a pumpkin. You made me think Atlanta was good in the first 3 games, and that's your fault. That's on you. That's because of how you made Atlanta look good. That's how bad you are, New York Knicks. Dude, shout out to the New York Knicks. What a great fan base. They deserve this so much. I'm so happy for all of them. Oh my gosh. What a bunch of losers, those New York Knicks fans. I'm going to war right now. I'm going to war with Knicks fans, dude. I just can't take the bing bong and the wing wong and the whatever they're doing in the Garden. Dude, you made the Hawks look good. That's terrible. You're a bad basketball team still. I just love how it took you 3 games. Mike Brown's like, what if we start like running the offense through Karl Anthony Towns? And then they tried it, and it's like, hey, it worked. It just kind of proves the point Jalen Brunson might not be the guy. You know, enough of the fans, bro. Enough of those people. I do want to shout out OG Anunoby, who was just like completely flies under the radar for this team. OG Anunoby is the best player on New York. He's the only guy that stays on the roster. Cat, OG, you guys can stay. Everyone else, I'm taking everyone else away, and I'm getting Giannis. Take Brunson, take Bridges, take Shamet, take Hart. Take them all. I don't care. Give me Giannis. I'm going to run Giannis. I'm going to run Cat, and I'm going to run OG Anunoby. Good luck stopping me. Dude, Steph Curry as well. Steph Curry's going to be a New York Knick next year. Mark my words. Can we just take a moment to celebrate OG, the awkward king, brother? He averaged 21.5 points per game, nearly 36 minutes per game in this series. He was playing lockdown defense the entire time. He is one of the big reasons that Jalen Johnson never took off in this series, talking.com. Dude, a fun stat that I have, New York had a plus 105 point differential in this series and somehow lost 2 games. The ceiling and floor of this New York basketball team, the gap between is as wide as the gap between the Red Sea when Moses led the Israelites to freedom. Paprika, just cooking. I'll get to that swag in just a second. The ceiling for this New York Knicks team is a 50-plus point playoff win against a bad Hawks team on the road. The floor is losing 2 games to this Hawks team and looking like a team that doesn't know how to play basketball. I said it all year about New York, okay? They can beat anyone in the league except Detroit. But they can also lose to absolutely anybody, bro. They are on quite the uptick right now, and they're looking very good, and all the momentum is going New York's way. I get it. I hear it. I like it. I hear it. I mean, I'm well-versed in this thing. I know how it goes around this stuff. The floor of this team is like truly abysmal bad basketball. The ceiling, best team in the world. They are the antithesis of consistency. They do not have a consistent bone in their bodies. 1 minute they're up, 1 minute they're down. I'm just so out on this New York team, and I cannot wait to see Philly and Boston take them down. But brother, the game of the night, the story around the sporting world. Did I forget to press play? Guys, you've got to let me know when I don't press play. These are valuable minutes that we could have been watching taken together, and we don't have it. Schefter tweeted, Wide receiver DK Metcalf will not face criminal charges stemming from his altercation with a fan at Ford Field during the Steelers and Lions game Week 17 last year. Do you remember that, when DK Metcalf punched a fan? Remember when everyone was like defending the fan, like, he didn't say the N-word? Brother, yeah, he did. Yeah, so DK will not face criminal charges, I guess, for that issue of him punching the fan in the face. I love this story because that fan, a year ago, when the Lions played at Seattle, was at the game right behind Seattle's bench and was just giving DK a rough time. Multiple times, this guy has showed up to a DK Metcalf game and purposely sought him out and purposely was like in his face, grilling him, saying horrible things to him, to the point where DK last year, or 2 seasons ago, told the Seattle security, like, hey, kick this guy out, don't let him near me. And they did. And then, of course, a year later, the guy's like, dude, it's the definition of F around and find out, bro. Do you want to stalk DK Metcalf? Good. Okay, yeah, he's going to punch you in the face. Shout out to the Ole Miss Rebels, by the way. That was so long ago, I forgot about that. I know, I miss football, brother. I miss football. I need people punching fans in the face. I need players punching fans more often. It was one of my favorite parts of the football season. That and probably Justin Herbert getting an MVP vote. That was awesome, dude. Shout out to the Talking Balls guys and Sam Monson. Just, my Irish friends. The Denver Nuggets guys have been officially eliminated from playoff contention as they lose to the very shorthanded Minnesota Timberwolves last night. Before I completely just roast the crap out of this Denver team, we do need to celebrate the unreal performance from Chris Finch and the Wolves. Dude, I don't often talk ill of coaches. Actually, yeah, I do. I don't often celebrate coaching in the NBA, right? We celebrate coaching a ton in the NFL. We celebrated a ton. Dude, the coaching, right? Last year, the reason the Seahawks won, it was all because of Clint Kubiak and Mike McDonald, right? Like, we celebrate coaching a ton in the NFL, and because we're like, yes, coaches matter. Woohoo, yeah. Oh, I don't know what that was. In the NBA, we don't really celebrate coaching, but Chris Finch put on a masterclass in this one. Dude, they were down their best player, their best shooter, and one of their most consistent rotational guys, and they still won the game due to sheer will. It never looked once like in this game that Denver was going to have a chance in this one. Minnesota put a chokehold on them and really never let go, dude. Julius Randle was awesome all series. Rudy Gobert was fantastic on defense. So, the Rudy Gobert stock has just gone so high. If for whatever reason you've got a one-of-one logo man Rudy Gobert that you've been holding on to for the time when he actually does something great, brother, sell it now. This is the time to do it, bro. Rudy Gobert played insane defense. Jaden McDaniels had a coming-out party for the world to see. Dog had a career-high 31 points last night. Jaden McDaniels. This is the guy that was talking all the talk, too. This is the guy that was naming all the Denver Nuggets by name. You don't know. You're not good at defense. You have a horrible defensive team. This was that guy. This was that guy that gave them all the bulletin board material. Remember that? Everyone's like, why is Jaden McDaniels giving them so much bulletin board material? It's like, oh, because he doesn't care. He's fearless, bro. Dude, he's 25 years old. He's having his best offensive season ever. He's clearly a lockdown defensive perimeter type guy. I mean, dude, Jaden McDaniels is becoming a very, very important player in this NBA league. And it's going to be very important next series because, man, San Antonio's got some guard play. I'm excited to talk about this Wolves and Spurs series. I don't think it's going to be as cut and dry as people think. Do I think Anthony Edwards is going to come back? I think he's going to try his best, right? I watched the way that Gobert locked down Jokic, and I'm like, if he could lock down Jokic, he could definitely slow Wemby down. And if you slow Wemby down, you give this team a shot. They've got good perimeter defense on this team. They've got Julius Randle who can go out and score. Bones Highland's scoring. Jaden McDaniels is scoring. It's not a cakewalk for the Spurs. I'm going to just put it that way. It's going to be a fun one. Give me the Wolves in 6, said JD. What up, dog? Wow, JD coming in hot right now. Jaden McDaniels locks down your best guard and then puts up 31 on the other end in only a true dog could have that kind of performance. I'm just so impressed with this team and watching them play basketball, bro. It's just really fun. Top to bottom, every player showed up. You don't have that often where we see every single guy off the bench hops into the game knowing they're going to win. That's what I saw last night. It didn't look like a Minnesota team that was like, all right, hopefully we get a win. Oh, we need to win this game at home. No, they walked in to that arena and said, we're going to win. And they were fearless the entire time. And they had the lead the entire game. Nuggets never had a chance, bro. The Nuggets had the best player in the world, and they lost the series because they couldn't play defense. And they were too soft to get through Minnesota. Bro, I don't know where this is going to go or how it's going to end up or what this means for the league. Carter Bryant is our secret weapon. Oreo, I'm going to just let you know right now, no, he's not. No, he's not. We're not doing the whole ninth guy off the bench as the secret weapon show. That's the most New York Knicks thing ever. Dude, Jose Alvarado is the key to this series. No, he's not. It's your star. The key to that series is Victor Wembanyama. If he plays well, you guys are going to win. If he plays poorly, you guys are going to lose. We saw it with Denver. Jokic, dude, he had good numbers still, but he didn't play like a Jokician game. Jokician? Yeah, I'm going to say it. Denver could not play defense. Jokic just is not a great defender. He's a little too slow. Jamal Murray is a terrible defender. Aaron Gordon didn't play. Dude, I think the days of like being a pure scorer and not being able to play defense are just gone in the NBA. Because I'm doing a whole thing on TikTok today. It's like, hey, let's fix the, let's go ahead together and like fix the, how do I put this? Fix the Nuggets. And I'm looking at it, dude, Jamal Murray is scheduled to make $53 million next year. And he can't play defense. I'm sorry, but I cannot be paying people $53 million to just play on one side of the floor, right? You can't. In today's NBA, the reason the Thunder are so good is because they all play defense. The Celtics are good because they all play defense. Maxey, Edgecombe, all those guys, those guards are playing defense. Brunson's not good at it, no, but they got OG out there and they got Mikal Bridges. You have to have great defense. The day of just being a scorer in the NBA, I don't know if you could win a game like that anymore. Or at least win a playoff series like that. The Nuggets have 86% of their salary cap next season tied up in Jokic, Murray, and Aaron Gordon. Two of the three guys do not play on one end of the court. 86% of your salary cap is tied up in three players. One of them is too unhealthy to find the floor. One of them cannot play defense at all and is wholly reliant on his three-point shot, and when it doesn't fall, he can't do anything. And the other one is the greatest player we've ever seen. Shea shot over 600 free throws this season. Brunson should use his Funko Pop head for defense. He does kind of look like a Funko Pop. That's pretty good, Swaggy. That's actually very good. Swaggy, joke of the day. You get pinned, bro. First pin of the day. Congrats, Swag. Da-da-da-da. Celebrate. Good times. Morongo. Good times. The Nuggets played like a scared, sad dog that expected Minnesota to, like, roll over because they lost their best player. The Nuggets were like, hey, why are you guys still trying? It felt like Denver was expecting Minnesota to give up when Anthony Edwards went out. It was like, oh, he's gone. Now this team's going to just give up and roll over. A lot of people picked Denver to like win the finals this year, right? Dude, a lot of people picked Denver to at least go to the Western Conference Finals. A lot of people were having the Spurs losing to the Nuggets as like, this is the wake-up call for the Spurs when it's like they're, you know, that whole dumb sports thing where it's like, they're too young to win in the playoffs. A lot of people had the Nuggets going very far, and that team's out in 1. That thing didn't even go to 7. They lost in 6. David Adelman had no answers, dude. He was not able to free up Jokic at all. He wasn't able to get Murray away. He wasn't from Jaden McDaniels. The team just kept going out there every single night and trying the same thing over and over again and hoping it would work, and it never did. This was a team that had a ton of people picking them to win the finals, and they're gone, dude. According to Jokic himself after the game, they said, well, like, you know, what happened? He's like, we're very far away from being a playoff contender. Straight up. It's really not about who shoots more free throws. It's about how they get the calls. Slade, yes. We're just gonna have a full 3-hour show on free throws alone because it's the biggest topic in sports right now. Free throws. All over my TV today Is Jokic a fraud? Is Jokic a fraud? Right? People were comparing the playoff numbers between Jokic and Giannis. And there's a big argument that Giannis has had a better career thus far than Jokic. And I'm here to have that conversation. I can actually 100% buy that, right? And now there's all these people saying, well, hey, Jokic's run to the finals, it was a 4 seed, a 7 seed, a 5 seed, and an 8 seed, right? I saw a stat on Twitter today with there's been 76 NBA Finals winners. 73 of them have had to play a top 3 seed on their way to winning the finals. The past 3 seasons are the 3 teams that never had to play a top 3 seed and get to the finals. You know, Denver ran through nobody. Boston ran through nobody. The Thunder last year ran through nobody. I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh yeah, dude, those were all fraud championships. There's a little something to it. Obviously, last year's run was completely highlighted by injuries throughout. So like the Thunder were going to win it regardless, I think. They kind of obviously got lucky with injuries. Don't let people convince you that Nikola Jokic is a fraud. He led the league in rebounds and assists as a 7-footer and shot 40% from 3 while doing so. He's an anomaly. He's unheard of. He is still, in my opinion, the best offensive player in the league. You do not have another 7-footer that runs point for their team and finds the open guy every time. The issue with the Nuggets is if you have a guy like that who's going to run your entire offense and not really play that well on the defensive end, you need to surround him with defensive talent. And instead, they surrounded him with a broken Aaron Gordon and a Jamal Murray who's an actual traffic cone out there and cannot play defense against anybody. I'm very concerned for the Nuggets, but they've got some wiggle room in the offseason to make some moves, okay? They do have some wiggle room. They've got like pretty much their entire team tied up next year. There's a couple guys like Bruce Brown that they might need to re-sign if they want to, but they're already over the apron. They're already over the cap. And like I said, they got 86% of their salary cap tied up in 3 guys. And all 3 of those guys completely disappointed in this one. Thank you for watching the Power Hour. We're going to continue the show in just about 5 minutes.